Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Nice
Blah,
cam
blah,
twist.
blah, blah,
Enzo.
blah, 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 blah. BlabTalk Live, BlabTalk Live, BlabTalk Live, BlabTalk Live, blam, 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 BlabTalk Live.
Tonight on BlabTalk Live, we talk about apps. It's an app frenzy. Mr. Joel Comenenzo brings you the latest.
BlabTalk Live, BlabTalk Live, BlabTalk Live, BlabTalk Live, blam, 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 BlabTalk Live.
What's going on with your cam
From
twist,
the
Enzo?
side of the world is Mr. Joel, the squirrel, looking for a nut.
Squirrel!
Calm.
My ADD is clearly kicking in, and it's just like, squirrel! So, hey, everybody. How's it going? Tuesday night, BlabTalk Live, myself and the ubiquitous and disappearing Vincenzo Landino, who, like many of us, we come on and we forget that our camera configuration is all fakakta.
No, it was set correctly. Just for some reason, it wasn't doing anything. I had a request. Nada. What's up, homeboy?
Are you still like basking in the afterglow?
I just released the episode today, the podcast episode.
Yes, I saw that. I liked it. I should share it though.
I mean, you are the one with 300,000 followers. It would be nice.
420,000, if you will. Is it on brandboost.com?
You are in Denver.
Is it on Brand Boost? Brandboostpodcast.com?
Brandboostcast.com/Gary-Bean.
All right, let me pull it up. I'm actually there. It is right there. Okay, let's do a share. Where's your share link? Oh, it's at the
I
bottom.
don't know if I have share links working
page.
up there. Yeah, okay. So this site has to get reworked, but I'm afraid to do it.
Build the biggest building with Gary Vaynerchuk. I think I should, instead of saying Gary Vaynerchuk, I'll tag him at the end. It's Gary V, right? VEE. Is that his Twitter?
Gary VEE.
Let's tweet that right now. Boom. Like that.
Tweet that shit.
That just happened.
And just like that, 420,000 people now know.
I don't know how many actually know. Actually, you know what I should have done? I should post it with a picture. Oh, it does. You see, I don't like the way it embeds stuff. I want to. Yeah, are you looking at my feed? I'm going to delete that. I'm going to do this right. Let's just grab the URL, and then I want to grab a screenshot like you have here of your main screen. Wait, why is it not pulling the image? Save as.
So what you can do is you could also tag me in it.
I'll tag you in it too. So
I love how we do it. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Rolling in. While you are rolling in, let us know where you're rolling in from. Thanks, Solutions Turk.
All right, let's do this right. Here we go. I like this is how to share on Twitter. So Brand Boost, we'll tag that. Brand Boost Cast. And we'll tag Gary V, and we'll tag Vincenzo Landino. And you want a hashtag?
Hashtag.
I don't know.
What do you want?
You don't have one for it? Then don't worry about it. And let me upload.
Oh, Brand Boost. Hashtag Brand
Boost. Let me upload the image. There we go. Now that's. Oh, I'm one character too many. I can fix this. There we go. Now we tweet that. Now we got to tweet. Now look at my Twitter page. For those that don't know, twitter.com/JoelCom.
Ah, yes. This is how you configure.
This is how we roll with the blabs.
This is how we
do it.
Now this is how you respond to a tweet.
So you guys go to my Twitter in another window and like it, and then retweet it, please. Okay. If you retweet it, I'm going to tell you I love you right here on Blab. But it's the kind of like friendship love, not like a deep, passionate, I know you love. I'm going to actually link you directly to the tweet here. Let me pull it up. Let's see. Here be the tweet. Right, there it is. And now I'm going to link it to you guys right there. And I want you to click that. I want you to give it a heartsy heart, a fartsy heart, and then retweetify it. And let's share the Enzo love. And welcome those of you joining. And of course, share that BlabTalk Live is also happening right now. And we're here. And what are you drinking? Oh, it's just
water.
It looked like you were drinking out of like a big vegetable or something.
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm on this Whole30 diet, and I'm literally drinking water, eating meat, vegetables, fruit, and I'm like having zero nuts. Like no nuts, no beans, no rice, no carbs, no sugar.
Nuts.
It's an interesting way to eat. It's pretty good though. I feel myself like all sorts of things happening with my body. Like I'm feeling under the weather, but from what I'm told is that when you do this, the body is trying to like regenerate.
Maybe soon you'll be over the weather.
Or over the moon. Yes, Joel, Snapchat that.
Got a ghost.
Where'd you get it from?
So my friend Aaron gave it to me. Our friend Aaron gave it to me.
I love Aaron.
I wonder if she'll pop in tonight. Who knows? There's never any telling where she's going to show up. So did you see the blab I have scheduled for later this week?
Is that the one with
There's two this week. So yes, Jonathan Tripp nailed it. I got Hunter and Frank, the co-founders.
Oh, Hunter and Frank
of Ghost Codes. And let me actually give you guys. We could talk a little bit about Ghost Codes, but I had a conversation with them, and they are blowing up. Like,
are you talking about the one with Forbes Riley?
Codes.
Oh, that's the one we're referring to.
Forbes Riley is scheduled for tomorrow at 2. Ghost Codes is going to be Thursday 5:30.
5:30 p.m.
It's actually my birthday on Thursday, so it's a little Cinco de Joel. Cinco de Joel.
May the 5th.
So there's the blab.
Yes, tomorrow.
May the 4th be with you.
You know, I don't understand why Star Wars doesn't release movies on May the 4th. Like that would be perfect.
It would. So May the 4th, followed by Cinco de Joel. And you guys come join me on my birthday. These guys are probably going to share it on Ghost Codes. So I am hoping for an explosive blab on Thursday.
Now, speaking of explosive blabs, does that have anything to do with iFart?
That would be the iFart blab.
Well, I didn't. You said explosive, so I didn't know if diarrhea can get explosive. iFarts.
Welcome, those of you joining us. I'm Joel Comm. That over there is Vincenzo Landino, and you are tuned into the longest running program on Blab. I think it's fair to say, right? There's nobody that's been that.
Yeah, no, it really is the
Blab
longest running show on Blab. Even though only 13 of them now show up on our website.
Well, that's like. They're all on my YouTube. You can pull them anytime and put them up.
I will spend a weekend and I'll get all of them up there and we'll be up to date and we'll get back.
Your connection is no bueno tonight, amigo.
Okay, hold on. I know what it is.
Do you need to like kick the cat or reboot or what? Yeah. Or it could just be blabbing. I don't know. So there he goes again. So, we need to feed the hamsters on the wheels. So tonight's show, we're going to talk about various apps that we're using. We could talk a little bit about Ghost Codes, but Ghost Codes primarily we're going to have on the Blab on Thursday. I want to talk a little bit about Musical.ly. Did you try it this week?
I mean, I've used Musical.ly, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't try it. I'll be okay. So I'm going to say this quickly. I don't want to drag this point on. For me, there's so many apps, right? And my my positioning personally is not to be like the app jump guy. Like Brian Fanzo, Joel Comm, Robert Scoble, guys like you, that's cool. Like you want to be on the newest and latest and greatest and be able to tell people about them. Awesome. But for me, it's very difficult to just do that because I'm trying to deliver to clients. So for me, like my clients follow me and they get, because I was doing this with some of the apps, like with Anchor. And I mean, I was getting clients to call me and be like, should we be on Anchor? Like you're always talking about it. I was like, oh crap. I'm kind of kicking myself in the foot. I'm like putting my own foot in my mouth by doing it. So no, I'm not a fan of Musical.ly.
So you're the wrong guy to talk about this on the show? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, obviously I keep up on everything, but I'm not like...
I don't keep up on everything. There's very few apps that I actually try and then spend time with.
Well, what do we think about Talk Show?
Talk Show is a steaming pile of poo.
Stupid. I could have told you that the moment you and I both signed up for it.
Well, let's get to it. Okay, so first of all, who's on Musical.ly? Musical.ly is a music video or a dub app that takes Dub Smash, which is just your standard, music dub, to the next level by creating some really cool effects. So, for example, right. If you'll click the link there, you can watch on Instagram. I'll let you do it on your side, so you don't have to hear my audio. It's kind of interesting because
you post that on Instagram.
What's that?
You post that on Instagram?
Yeah, well, you can when you make a video. You know what? Let me do a screen share. Let me do a reflector, and we'll actually show what this looks like, so people who haven't used it can get a look at it. Let me see. Reflector, turn that puppy on. Joel's PC, mirror it. There's my app, and then let me open up a window to the soul here. Let's see. Window to the soul. Hang on a second. Let me. No, not that one. Okay, hang on. There they are. All right. So now I need to share this window. Hang on. We're working with some serious tech here, gang. If I share this desktop window, which is my Skype, then that should pull up. Okay, it does. Good. Okay, so this is Musical.ly that you're looking at right here. Let's see if I can position it a little better. And I don't. Okay, so why am I not seeing this whole thing? Oh, I know. Here we go. Boom. There it is. So what's really cool about this is you can click on the plus down here, and then you can pick music. Now, I think the ASCAP licensing fees are like, if you go longer than, 10, 12 seconds, then you have to pay.
Like that, yeah.
So what they do is the sound clips that are available are 1 second less than what the licensing fees would be. Mm-hmm. So you can go in here and pick music. You can pick from popular ones. Or Enzo, pick a song.
We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel.
We didn't start.
We didn't start the fire.
So there it is. And then I can pull it in here. And I think since the music's not playing through, I need to. Okay, so what you're looking at is me on my iPhone, and of course I can reverse the camera right there, and do that. But we can click the scissors here and listen to a clip.
H-Bomb, Sugar Ray, Panmunjom, Brando. John Brando, the king and I, and the catcher in the rye. Eisenhower vaccine, Britain's got a new queen. Rusciano, Liberace, Santayana, goodbye.
And you save your clip, and then you'll see that there's the normal setting, which if you wanted to lip sync just to that clip, normally you do that, but you never do that because that's no fun. What you do is you either go to fast or laps. And what these actually do is slow down the music as you're recording it. So you can make some really quick movements with your phone. And when you play it back, it speeds the song to the normal speed, but the effects look really cool.
Yeah, see, I didn't play with it like that much to actually like.
Yeah, and if you go the other way to slow, and Epic is even, you have to say it really fast. So, like, what were those lyrics right there? Roosevelt?
Rosenberg's H-Bombs, Sugar Ray, Penmoon John, Brando, the king and I, and the catcher in the rye.
Yeah, so it's like.
Eisenhower vaccine. England's got a new queen. Marciano Liberace, Santayana, goodbye.
So, now when I play that back.
It's like a little music video.
Okay, so there's some cool stuff. Like if I show, it doesn't translate as well here, but for example, when I did, where's Purple Rain?
Purple Rain. Purple Rain.
Or here, let's try this one. I did, while I was walking through the airport, I did While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Oh, great song.
And I did the thing where you
quick,
sing it.
Who plays the guitar in that song? Quick.
George.
No, wrong.
Who plays it?
Who plays lead guitar in that song?
I don't know. Who?
Eric Clapton.
Oh, duh, of course. So you sing it fast, but then when you play it back, it gives this slow motion effect that looks like this. And then people can go in there, and you'll see if I go to the social network aspect, you see people who have liked my my musicals, or if they've left comments on them. And
that's very cool.
So there's this social aspect to it.
Let me ask you this though: what's the purpose of it? Like, what is the whole purpose of doing?
It's fun.
No, I get that, but like, some people are going to say, "Well, what?"
I'm not in it for business. I mean, here, check this out. Check out my Evanescence one. It's just fun.
No, I'm just, that was the only answer I wanted.
I know that. I mean, there's nothing more than that. There's no business model to it that I can see. It's just for fun, and I'm all about the fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun app. I have to play around with it a lot more. I mean, I know there's quite a few people on there that are like teeny boppers that are crushing it on there, whatever they're crushing. But
right. So I am, I'll be 52 on Thursday, and I'm this old guy. In fact, one little girl put in there a comment on one of my videos. It was age limit much.
Really?
And then I went and looked at her profile, and she's like, to all you haters out there, stop it.
Wow.
Like, okay, she's a little girl. So yeah, a lot of kids are using it, but I'm having fun with it. Hi, Dana. How are you? Mitch, where are you going, buddy? Did we scare Mitch Jackson off?
Probably because we weren't talking to him.
Mitch.
Either because we weren't talking to him, or we weren't talking about ending distracted driving, so he probably got upset.
Hey, did you see you probably didn't see my Snapchat story today, but
as long as you weren't distracted driving, because I have to say, even though I'm not I haven't been promoting the distracted driving thing as much as others have, I have to say, Mitch and his movement, I haven't been doing it.
No, there's no reason to. So I will snap in my car if I'm parked or if I'm at a red light.
I haven't stopped. I haven't even done that anymore. You guys can attest if you watch my snaps.
Yeah, there's no danger to me to snapping at a red light. I don't, as long as I'm paying attention to when it turns green. If I know, I always look. I'm like, okay, that light is very green. It's not even counting down yet. I'm good to go ahead and do something. But I will not snap and drive. And that was part of my story today was don't snap and drive. And also don't drink and snap. Because
drinking usually doesn't lead to anything good, period. So,
well, I don't know. I enjoy a glass of wine.
True. I do too.
I think I have no problem with that. But I definitely think that when people drink and then do anything publicly, they Snapchat. I mean, just kind of, yeah. Okay, so that's musically. Do you want to talk about talk show briefly?
Not really. Honestly, I think it's a waste of everyone's time. We're fine. We can do it for like 2 minutes.
We're here to talk about the apps.
Agree, Jack Robinson. Agree. So, okay, fine. We'll talk about it. So this other app came out last week. It's called Talk Show. And Talk Show is like public texting, but only the hosts can text. So you essentially have groups, right? And you can have, like, let's just say Joel and I wanted to do a group text, and we were like, we are going to publicize what we're texting, and we would go into a Talk Show, and we would have our conversation, and people could watch our conversation, and they could react with like canned reactions. Like,
I think I've actually deleted it. I'm looking for it on my phone right now. Just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and pull it again real quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. I mean, like, although I do see that like Jimmy Fallon's on it, but anyway, so it's texting. It's texting, right? Or it's a text conversation. Think of a group where you can have group conversation, people can watch, and they can react, but they cannot talk unless they're a host, unless they're asked to be part of the conversation. I don't see a point to it.
Yeah.
And I don't use it at all. I tried it just to.
Okay, here it goes. It's loading.
Sherry, they react with canned reactions. So there's canned reactions. So let's say I want to see what's on. They say what's on. So Miles and Rob talking about show, whatever that is. I'm going to click on it, right? Now, I can't type anything here at the bottom. It says send a reaction. When I click on that, it gives me canned responses like, can I co-host? I'm totally here for this. This is good. LOL. Wait, what? I'm sorry. And then a bunch of emojis. It's really idiotic.
Yeah, you can even see like the comments here. Co-host being limited is annoying. Needs open room option. Allow unlimited. I get this app and texting in public. It doesn't feel like a chat room to me. Blah, 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 blah. I created one. Let's see. Oh, here it is. The new app review. And I let anybody be a co-host to it. And I mean, you can see crickets. What are your thoughts? Bored.
Yes. Stupid.
Hello.
In fact, watch, guys. Boop. Boop. Done.
Okay. And I'm done too. And now that I'm going to uninstall it for the second time. Now that it's gone. So what other I haven't been on Anchor hardly at all. There's
although I mean there's still chatter about Anchor being.
What happened to my display?
No idea. I mean, no idea what's really going on with Anchor. Here's the thing with something like Anchor. It's audio, which is awesome. I love it because I'm a podcaster. I have a daily podcast. So, of course, I love Anchor. I love what it is. But something's
Anchor,
missing.
we love what you are. But so we talked about this on the Anchor show, and I think the conclusion that most of us have come to is that consuming the content on Anchor is it just takes too much time.
What I like about Anchor though is now I think you can echo. So I believe you can like share
Echo. Share what?
Like I think, hold on a second. Let me look.
I mean, I have people following me.
You can echo to your followers, meaning like I can let everyone else. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. So you can only echo 3 times a day. That's really weird.
Yeah, I just, you know me, I jump in on stuff and I used it for about 2 weeks solid. And then I realized, oh my gosh, there's 45 replies to my post. Can Gary Vee single-handedly make Anchor a thing? I don't have time to listen. And part of the problem is people don't know how to be concise. Right? They come on and they blah, 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 blah before they ever get to the point they're making. And I'm like, just say it.
Well, I also think people don't know how to. People don't know how to have conversations, which is what it's made for, right? You think you're going to get on here and you're just going to be like, blah, 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 and then you're done. But really, you are opening a conversation. Most people don't know how to open that conversation. And the thing is with audio is now you hear people's voices and it could get scary. People don't like it. It's really easy to be a keyboard warrior and just walk away and be like, yeah, I just dropped some knowledge on that guy, or I just blew that guy up. You can't do that here. So it's very strange. And like a lot of the conversations are vanilla. Amongst
Have you seen this one? So this is pretty cool. No notes. It crashed. Hang on. Oh wow, keeps crashing. That's not good at all.
Joel, look, did you see my Snap code?
Oh, look at you. You got a sticker on the back of your phone.
Matt, I love what you're saying. The handshake. What is it? Handshake Tour of America. It's funny because I was in DC with a friend of mine, and they were like, "Aren't you going to Snapchat and aren't you going to record, like live stream this?" Because we were at this, it was an amazing experience that we had, just the 4 of us, and I didn't Snapchat, I didn't live stream, I didn't tweet, I didn't even have my phone out, I didn't take any pictures, and I was like, you know what? There's a time for everything. This is a time to enjoy and be present. And it was amazing. It was amazing. It was just amazing. What not taking out the phone and worrying about the Snapchat. And
I like that. And I'm being asked a lot about Snapchat and doing these interviews, and people are like, "What do you think of your snaps are there and then they're gone? 24 hours later." I'm like, "Isn't that life? I mean, like, isn't this moment right now? Even though we're recording this." I'm not going to go back and watch this, and very few people will. You that are here with us, you are in the moment with us, enjoying the moment, hopefully, and then it goes, and we move on. And how do we live moving forward if we're always revisiting where we've already been? And so what? It disappears. Agree?
Yeah.
Disagree?
No, I agree. I was responding here to Jack Robinson. It's a good point. Why record it? You know what? It's absolutely, you don't have to. No one said you have to. There is no reason that you must. No one is saying that you should. And if that's not your thing, then don't do it. I mean, there's no reason for anybody to do any of this stuff. Really. There really isn't.
I have saved every one of my Snapchat stories to my phone because I save them at the end of every day. And guys, we'll let people in here in just a little bit. Got a couple more things I want to talk about. But I've only taken a few clips, like once every other week. I think I take a piece of a story that's self-contained and upload it to Facebook so I can go, here's what you're not seeing if you're not following me on Snapchat. There's something like some people put them up on YouTube, Snapchat stories.
I do.
But it's not the same to me because you're not able to now you are purely a viewer.
Broadcasting.
Right. Whereas on Snapchat, people can engage with you and interact, and it's different experience in its natural habitat than if you're just watching it. Would you agree?
Yeah. 100%.
So I have months now of content on my phone. I'm going to be like Prince, the Joel.com archives. When I die, they're going to try to unlock my phone to get to my Snapchat stories that nobody's seen.
You know what I love the most about that archives of Prince is that they were covers of Billy Joel songs.
Have they actually gotten to any of his stuff yet?
I don't know. I heard that it was a bunch of Prince covers of Billy Joel songs. Was that true?
They haven't. No. They haven't. Like, they're still looking for the will. They can't get into anything until they have the legal documentation.
Oh, so maybe that was a joke then that somebody said.
Probably. Let me show you one more app that I really like. Have you ever wanted to record a call with somebody when you're on your phone?
No, I've never done that. How do you do it?
So, good question. I found this app. It's called nonotes.com. I think they're out of the UK. And basically, you go to record my call, and you click this, and then I can actually, let's just do this. I'll go right here to Vincenzo Landino. I'm going to call you. Okay. It's calling. Okay, you hear that? It's calling No Notes.
20 minutes remaining.
Oh, interesting.
Wait. Now it's called them. Now it's calling you. Go ahead and pick up.
Hello?
Is this Domino's Pizza?
Yes. What kind of pizza can I get you?
I would like to order a pepperoni.
Okay, I have a large pepperoni.
You did not just say that.
Would you like a large pepperoni?
And call. Okay, so the call's done. Now watch this. Now I can go to my calls, and you could see I did a call with Scoble, and I wanted to record it. So I think you get 20 minutes without having to pay for it, and then there's a paid version. And I'm thinking that it's taking the recording, it should show up here pretty soon. But anyway, if I wanted to, I could click on this Scoble call.
Sorry, the call you've reached is out of order. Okay, one more thing.
So, and then and it sends you via email. Notice there's an email audio link right here. So I can click on this and I can send a downloadable link to that call to myself. So now you can actually record a call on your phone. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think someone said it there. Joe at Wildfire says, privacy. You should probably let people know, hey, I'm recording.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you never want to do. I mean, there's laws in each state that are different, but you always want to tell people they're being recorded. I mean, don't do it to be tricksy. Just that you can do it.
I'm just responding to something. You say hi to
Chocolate Johnny. I was talking about you today in an interview I was doing for a book about Snapchat. I brought you up as a case study.
Chocolate Johnny got some airtime on the opening keynote at Social Media Marketing World.
Big time, huge picture of him with his giant chocolate egg, and Stelzner really gave him major props. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Hi, Vicky. This is perfect. For you, Vicky Fitch. There you go. Hard Eyes.
So what other apps do we have that came out recently?
Well, there's nothing that I want to talk about, but if you're good about opening it up, we can see what other people want to talk about. All
sure.
right, so we're going to open up the seats.
Keep it app related.
And if you want to join us and talk about an app that you've enjoyed or want to discuss, then take a seat and we'll discuss it. Laura Vanderhei asks, what about Beam? I saw absolutely no merit to Beam whatsoever. Did you try it?
I like Beam because I like Casey Neistat. And so if Casey Neistat thinks that there's something behind it, it's probably true, but I don't think in its current form. It does have quite a little cult following, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so my understanding is you cover
the proximity sensor.
Why don't you explain it?
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, I don't know that I've accurately got it.
Basically, you record using your like the proximity sensor. So you would act as if you're putting the phone up to your ear or put the phone up to your towards your chest, and it just would record, whatever the hell you're looking at. And it's like this real time. I don't know how many seconds it is, but it's very, very quick.
Okay.
But you're not looking at your screen. It keeps you present, like Dana said. It keeps you very present in what you're doing. And I think once it's recorded, it's out there.
So here's the thing. Here's what bugs me about that. Most of the content people are creating isn't interesting to begin with. No. And now we're going to randomize it. So to guarantee that the odds are the moments of uninterestingness are going to be even more prevalent. John, welcome to the show. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How are you, bud?
Hey, I wanted to say one thing about Anchor that you guys were saying. Like your question, can Gary Vee single-handedly take over Anchor? Well, the problem is...
I didn't say take over. I said, can he invigorate it and bring it to life?
Right. Okay. My apologies. And, everybody's going to respond the same way and not pay attention to the conversation. So you have to listen to them all just to even reply. Yeah. It takes way, way too much time.
I agree.
And
instead, we spend an hour here having a conversation.
Yeah, this is nice.
This is nice. You're nice boys. You're nice boys.
Super
you don't
nice.
hurt anybody. It's all good.
Yeah.
No, it's a good point. It's just you have to listen to the whole conversation, or else you're just jumping in. I guess you could just answer to the original post or the original, but it's not much of a conversation at that point, right?
John, is there something that you've come across lately that you really like?
No, I just had a question for you guys about, do you guys upload organic videos from your phone onto Snapchat via different apps? I know there's a few out there. Or do you just
don't do it?
Yeah.
It's a violation of terms of service. You may lose your Snapchat account. It's not worth it.
I tried once back, maybe a year and a half ago. Maybe it was 2 years ago. I was using some other app to upload stuff, and I got they snapped me a message, and then they emailed me, and they were like, "We noticed you were using a third-party app. It's against our terms of service. This is your first warning." I guess they give you 3 warnings, or 2 warnings and a third you're out kind of deal. So I stopped. At that point, I vowed to just not bother.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I recommend not doing it. There are apps. They sit somewhere. I thought I had them. Maybe I deleted them.
There's some people that what they'll do is they'll jailbreak their phones. They'll, their phones are not locked. So those work. There's a couple other hacks that work. There's a developer hack that I kind of was playing with the idea of putting on my phone, and then I realized that I couldn't get the real updates from Snapchat, like the regular ones. It was stuck to whatever that developer hack was. I would have had to redo the whole thing all over. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to it the way it is. And that's it. I mean, from what I've understood, most brands when they are working with, you know, Snapchat influencers, for the most part, there's some that don't care, but for the most part, they want people that are using the app the way it's meant to be used.
Right.
So
yeah, it takes away from the originality. If you're just, you know, uploading videos, then it's like 10-second YouTube videos, and it's ridiculous.
What's the point?
Yeah, I watched an entire story of somebody who pretty much did the whole thing on, you know, whatever program they used to edit video, and then they uploaded the entire thing as a Snapchat story. It was like 45 minutes long. It was ridiculous. Wow. It was stupid. Yeah.
There he is.
Well, thanks for the question, John. It's good to see you. Dr. Corey, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Good.
Good.
Thank
What's
you.
Happening? Yeah, where are you at? Where are you joining us from?
Yeah. From Los Angeles, California.
On the Westish coast. Great. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I wanted to know, is this, you talking more about Snapchat? Is it only about Snapchat or in basically social media in general?
We're talking about all kinds
about
of
everything. Now we're talking about everything, all apps.
Yeah, I basically like the Blab the best because in this forum I can, you know, interact with people. Snapchat I haven't used. I tried, but it just it just looks too kind of not too practical for me.
Well, what do you it's all down to what do you want to use it for?
Yeah, I just want to say Meerkat, like you were talking about the 24-hour thing. Meerkat is very immediate. It doesn't stay there. But with Periscope is 24 hours as well.
Do you still use Meerkat?
Occasionally. Now that Blab is around, I use Blab more. But I use Periscope because it stays there 24 hours.
Dr. Corey, you do know that you can save your scopes, right?
Save them. Well, it does. Yeah, I do save them and I put them on YouTube.
Okay.
But what I like what you said about, life is all basically immediate now. We are more in the moment with these cyberspace tools. So things are becoming faster and more immediate. So I like that people with these tools are becoming more and more, living in the present type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't go to watch these things, again, unless maybe it's on YouTube for some kind of like learning purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to say, do you guys know where Blab is going from here? Because I wish... me and my wife, we do network marketing type consulting, training people, and we like to basically put a PayPal on or something that people would register to get into the Blab in order to get the training.
So you could do that if you wanted to set up a page of your own, right, where you collect names and email addresses. And then what you do is you set up an unlisted Blab. So you give the people, tell them, okay, you're registered for this Blab at 5:00 on Tuesday. Watch your email for the link. And then when you're ready to start the Blab, you copy the link, you make it unlisted on Blab, and you send that to them. Now, anybody can come into it if they know that link, but it won't show up on Blab's page. So you can do your training, almost privately.
Mm-hmm. So in other words, people would register, like pay $10 or something, let's say, for example, and then they could come just to Blab to watch. Is that what you're saying?
Sure. Yeah, you can present on Blab. I mean, we have screen share on Blab. Why was I using my third party to do that when I could actually do screen share? Let me actually try that for the first time. Let's see if this works. Have you tried this yet, Enzo?
Screen share? No.
Let's see.
Screen share. You know what? I don't know, for example, how people put a YouTube on one of the boxes here. I don't know how they do that.
That we do as a host. If you're a host, you actually see. You know what? I can show you.
Yeah. I usually use my mobile devices like my iPhone and iPad. Is there any choices there?
That I don't know.
Not yet. I don't think
would not blab from your mobile. I would blab from your desktop. It's just it's a better, more reliable experience in my mind. Don't you think, Enzo?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's the best experience. It's from the desktop right now. Their app is still like super beta. It doesn't.
They got faster. They got faster.
It's fast. It's just, you know what? It's interesting because you're having a 4-person conversation, so it's hard. It's hard to do that. It's not that 1-to-1 anymore. But I mean, I found lag. But if you think that if it works for you, then go for it.
Yeah, I'm 24/7 type of consultant because I work with people around the world that call me. And I'm on my mobile usually running around, so that's why desktop is a hard call now. Because I used to be on desktop, but then gradually I became more and more. I even gave away all my laptop and everything to my wife. She's on laptop all the time, but me, I'm iPad and iPhone.
All right. Well, Dr. Corey, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you popping in. And good luck with your shows going forward. Anybody else want to talk apps with us? That's what it's App Frenzy. You're on BlabTalk Live with Vincenzo Landino, otherwise known as Vinny Blabberino, and myself.
Blah 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 blah.
And we have the Battle of the Meerkat.
Look at the little pink thing in the back of my throat.
Your uvula?
My vulva? What?
No.
I didn't mean that. That was not what I meant.
A uvula.
I actually didn't mean to say.
My gosh.
That's actually not what I meant. Oh, I was thinking.
And thanks so much for joining us on this. Wow.
That's not what I meant to say at all. Oh.
No, but we recorded that one. Somebody timestamp. And Enzo said he had a vulva in the back of his throat.
Okay.
I'm all for Clamp. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, we need clearly some estrogen is being summoned in the room. So, ladies, anybody care to not come in and not comment on that? Enzo is now officially speechless.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't think I've ever seen you blush before.
Well, because I know who's in the room.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Vicky, you can come on in and say hi to us. That would be delightful. Feel free to take a seat. You know, you're always welcome here.
Have not used the Glide app or Tapcast for those that were asking. I think.
What happened here? Look, we have freakiness going on.
What freakiness? Am I here or not here?
Well, you're like the fifth. There's a ghost seat where for me. What do you see, Enzo?
Can you guys see me or not? Should I go out?
Go out and come back in. Okay. You're below the fold.
Oh, that's no good, especially with Vincenzo.
Well, she's on, but she's below the pepperoni. Let's.
Below the pepperoni.
And yeah, it's still messed up on my side, but that's okay. I can see you, just not where you're supposed to be.
Can anybody else see me, or do I not? Oh, it looks good for you guys.
I'm going to refresh. All right, let me refresh.
Hi, Vincenzo. Can you see me?
I see you, beautiful. How are you?
I'm fine, darling. How are you?
fantastic.
Hey, rockin' interview with Gary V. I loved the whole Facebook Live with Amy. It's just kudos. Just
He
kudos.
nailed it. He nailed it.
He hit that thing right out of the park. I mean, seriously,
Yeah,
grand
it was
slam, baby.
well done.
Excellent.
Which, by the way, let's look at the tweet and see how the if people are clicking through. So there's been 21 hearts and 12 retweets that have driven 12 clicks to your site from my tweet so far.
Ooh.
Nice.
We'll take it, right? Any traffic is good traffic.
I actually did some paid ads on this today that drove some pretty solid traffic. So I was happy to see the results there. It was good. It was good stuff. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it.
Vicky, have you encountered any new apps that you are enjoying, curious about, otherwise enamored with?
Well, I'm feeling like I'm still a little behind on the Snapchat platform, so I'm getting my Snap on this month. So I haven't I'm listening. I always check out you and Jen Lehner. I always find out what do you like and what don't you like. I let you be the trailblazer and tell me what I should bother with and what I shouldn't.
For those of you that want access to my my Snapchat guide, there's why don't I have an image with that? This is the if you'll click that, it'll open up where you can opt in. This is a 20-minute tutorial where I showed John Lee Dumas how to do Snapchat, and
I totally just signed up for it right this second. True story.
Boom. Well, there you go. So go check it out. It's entertaining. It's great fun. And John Lee is really crushing it on Snapchat now. He's doing it.
Well, I will definitely I've been working on getting a course thing done, and then I'm going to go app crazy. That I saw this app frenzy. I had to come into, of course, I have to watch you two. You two are stellar anyway. You guys are my rock stars. So I definitely have to come in and check out. That's right. Show it, baby. So I would love to know what you think of my bobblehead idea, though.
I think the Do Good Stuff bobblehead could be a lot of fun. Enzo, do you know what she's talking about?
No, I don't.
So what I'm doing is the Do Good Stuff brand, which I think most people are getting familiar with as they see people wearing shirts and more stickers are showing up on people's laptops and phones.
Yes.
I want to get the brand out there in a big way. So in July, I'm going to be doing an Indiegogo campaign. We're going to put Do Good Stuff over a lot of different types of items, and we're going to not only raise awareness, make some money and build the brand, but also as a portion of the raise, we want to build clean water wells in Kenya. With waterislife.com. And so I put a post out there asking people, apart from t-shirts, caps, coffee mugs, stickers, tote bags, what would you like to see, as a reward level to put Do Good Stuff on? And Vicky suggested bobbleheads, Do Good Stuff bobbleheads.
I like it. But they're going to be your head, right?
Yeah, it's Joel's head with the dark rimmed glasses.
But I didn't talk about the non-material rewards, and I'm going to be talking a lot about this as we start to flesh it out and put some skin on it, because I feel like it's going to be my big ask towards everybody I know to help support this, because we really I want to do good stuff. iSocial, feel free to jump in here and come visit with us, buddy. Haven't seen you in a whole week and a half.
App conversation then.
So wait, let me just finish this, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've actually secured the talents of the same group that helped John Lee Dumas with his Freedom Journal Kickstarter campaign. They crushed it. They did $450,000 with it. So we're going to go after it. Brian, come on in here, buddy. You know you want to.
I know you want to.
You know you want it. As long as you don't open your mouth.
What other? Shut up.
I did tweet that out, Vincenzo. I'm sorry. I did take that little 30-second shot. Vincenzo. I do love
Oh my God, you totally
Hey Blake,
did.
how you doing, buddy? So
Look at no. Don't look at him.
Battle of the Meerkat.
There's a little pink thing in the back of my throat.
Your uvula.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, you did. You actually tweeted that?
I didn't mean that. That was not what I meant.
Wait, I gotta go like that.
I'm sorry. That's hysterical.
Vicky, is that on your Twitter?
I did. Yeah, I just.
That is hysterical. That was really well done.
Wow, I'm liking that and I'm
Oh, you
retweeting
did.
this.
Okay.
You won't believe what Enzo said. Oh my tweet. That deserves to be heard by as many people as possible.
Eat my microphone.
Fanzo,
Okay.
are you not coming in? Get in here, dude.
Said he doesn't like to be the fourth prettiest in a blab.
I'll go out, Brian.
Oh, there he is.
Yo, buddy.
Hey, Bri.
Hello.
He's got the fish eye on.
What are we
I do
drinking
have the
tonight,
fish
Brian?
on. Woo!
We can tell.
It's not up my nose. Here, we'll just go wide angle. There we go.
I have not used mine yet. I've had the Aloe clip since Periscope Summit, and I really need to, but I want to do it around a theme. I want to like have a day where like I become a fish, you know, and so there's a reason for it.
I thought that was like a daily thing because that's in that. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's perfect.
Okay, so Brian, we're talking apps. I know it's really bizarre that would happen here. We talked about Musical.ly, we talked about Talk Show, we talked about Anchor, a little bit about Snapchat, Ghost Codes. Is there anything that that you've seen lately that's really interesting?
Snapchat? No, just kidding.
Heard of it?
Yeah, once or twice in my feed. No, not really. And actually, I'm kind of, I've been actually okay with that. Part of the reason I haven't been on Anchor is because Anchor was taking so much damn time to consume that I couldn't, like, I didn't feel like I could put enough effort into it. And I feel like if I'm going to be on a platform, I want to be 100% engageable.
Right.
That's a word. And so, with all.
Can I stop you for 1 second before you finish that statement? Do you know what's interesting about what he just said? It was taking too long to consume content, right? So we've gone from full-length podcasts that are hours long, sometimes half hour long. Then we Anchor comes out and says, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna do 1 minute, 2 minute down, and 1 minute." Snapchat has single-handedly said to all of their apps, anything longer than 10 seconds is too long. Attention span's 8 seconds, right? And a good Snapchat story is not 10-second long clips. It's a bunch of little 2, 3, 4 second clips.
It's a couple minutes.
Strung together.
It's a couple.
No. But I'm saying each snap is about 2 to 6 seconds in length.
Right.
All right. And you keep them together because it makes you want to keep going. And that's, like Brian just said, it's too long to consume.
Well,
someone said, how does Anchor take any longer to consume than Snapchat?
No,
But it's different in that on Anchor, it's not going to stay interesting because a lot of the people who are responding aren't in the story. They're like, "Hey, Joel, I like listening to your anchors, and I was thinking about what you said about this, and I thought about it long and hard. And after I thought about it, I decided what I wanted to tell you." And I'm like, "Ah!"
Oh, that was so funny because that's what you said the other night, Joel. You said, "I just want to go shrink it up, stop it."
What Fanzo? Do you agree?
Well, I know where Enzo's going there, but I would actually say squirrel, in the sense of multitasking. So when I consumed an awesome podcast today. Like, it's probably one of the better podcasts I've listened to in a long while. Guys should check it out. It's called Brand Boost. This guy interviewed this awesome Gary Vaynerchuk. And when I messaged or tweeted, actually, I think I even have this guy's text number. I texted him, and I don't know if he realized this, but I actually texted and said, "Dude, I listened to your podcast and did nothing else." To me, that's probably the highest compliment I can give a podcast or any content that I'm consuming, because if I am not multitasking, if I am not going 100 miles an hour, if I'm not brainstorming on the wall or doing something else, that is actually like true captured attention. So like for the 28 minutes that Brand Boost podcast had me kind of dived into today, that's different than on Anchor. I cannot multitask on Anchor. It's impossible. There's nothing like you're consuming it, you're replying, you're consuming, you're replying. And I think it's less about like for me, if I'm consuming with the idea of learning, it's one mindset. If I'm consuming with the idea that I'm also going to be engaging and being in a participatory content perspective, my mindset is completely different. Like I get a high off of doing a Periscope. Like I get off a Periscope, I feel like I can go lift my car. It's the mind.
Man, what are you smoking, man? I've been smoking some of that Periscope again.
Yeah, or Facebook Live, whatever but I think
I took a snap bump.
Snap bump. I love it.
But no, I think the reason I said that also about Anchor is that I actually think, Joel, like I think the part of me that I was surprised with was it's actually like my Snapchat story today. Like I've been blown away today with the questions and the feedback that I've got. It was so unexpected that it's led me down creating so much more content than I ever planned. And on Anchor, that kept happening over and over again to the point where I had to eliminate that, or I was spending a drastic amount of time inside of an app that I had no strategy or plan with. Where Snapchat, every single day that I log into Snap, there is a mission, a mindset, a belief. And Anchor is not, I'm not even writing it off, but like, I guess to my point on the whole apps thing, like I love Musical.ly. Joel, you're doing some good things on there. I'm entertained by stop motion. I'm entertained by truly any app that follows my mantra of limitations inspire creativity. Like I want more apps to focus on limitations. Like my 60-second videos, if I'm gonna give my plug, if you're not following me on Instagram right now, I'm doing 8 days of 60-second video clips where I only give a 1-minute tip every single day using the new feature on Instagram video. I'm having a blast with that because I'm trying to push the limitations of that new feature. And I think a lot of the new apps that come out, I mean, even that, what's that one that was that text message one that you guys tagged
Talk
in
show.
the day? Yeah,
Talk show.
Talk show. Yeah, that would I couldn't even figure out. Like there goes to a point
pile of app poo.
Yeah, I'm glad you say that. Okay, good, because I had one of those ones where it's really bad when it never gets out of the folder that is my FOMO folder. When I can never even leave it out of FOMO folder, it just stays there. But I was actually curious. So someone asked this below, but what do you guys think? When you consume other people's Snapchat stories, are you binge Snapchat story watchers where you watch it twice a day, or do you periodically stop into a few stories throughout the day? Because I've been studying, like uber geeking out my audience. I can tell you like what hours a day I get a percentage of the view uptake. But it's interesting because I think it's so different for so many people. How do you guys do it?
I personally, I mean, I watch at the end of the day, or I'll take like one time in the afternoon or in the morning, and then one time before bed. I just can't, like, unless there's something. I do. I have notifications off.
Okay.
And because they were draining my battery like crazy, and I was getting so many messages. And the thing is, it's like most of the messages are not from people that I want to talk to. Like, if you don't get a response from me, it's because I don't know you and you're sending me stupid shit. And you get a lot of that. You get like random like shots of a fan.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, turned up as F today.
Yeah, but how do you
do a private snap?
How do you reply to? So like what I've done now.
I unfriend them.
Right, I unfriend or I say, don't tag me in your Snap stories or I will block you. And I've kind of eliminated. The reason I was asking that is, and Vicky, I'd love to hear, because like notifications on Periscope. When I turn notifications on Periscope still, I love Periscope, but my consumption of Periscope drastically went down. Even though the notifications were annoying as crap, and I never really looked at them anyhow. As soon as I got rid of them, I only consume Periscopes when I'm bored or I'm laying in bed and I can't fall asleep. Where now I still have my Snapchat notifications on, and I see them dinging right now across the top. But it's because that's where I want to be able to focus my attention, because I watch stories periodically throughout the day, all day long.
So for me, I rarely will watch more than twice a day. you know, and it's
I know.
sometimes
I
in the
watched your
morning.
story where you had 4,000 requests of people to watch your snaps. See, I watch yours, Joel.
Thank you. Well, I asked if people wanted me to do Snapchat takeovers on their accounts, and it takes a lot of time to do takeovers. I've probably got about 30 to 40 that I haven't been able to get to yet, and I'm like, I don't know when I will, because I'm doing my own story, and then yes, I do have a life in between all that, amazingly.
Well, and I think what Brian's saying about the podcast part too is that there is a completely different mindset. Like me, I go on the treadmill in the morning. Sometimes I'll be watching somebody's Periscope, or sometimes I'll be consuming a really good podcast like Brand Boost, of course, it's rocking. But I'll consume those because, like you said, you can be in a different mindset. You're absorbing information, and I actually have a pad and stuff that I can jot notes down. But that's the thing, is that there is a completely different mindset when you're using different apps that require that consistent engagement. Even Snapchat, you know, I can do some on the treadmill, but it's different if you actually want to reply. I mean, you know, of course, if you want to hear me huffing and puffing and looking, but you see that there is a big difference with that, like the mindset. And so I think when you're saying, you know, little 1 minute, 30 second, 8 seconds, but we do plan on a group of time. We plan on specific learning time is what I call it. You know, that learning time where you're looking for a different thing. You're looking for a fix. You're looking to get filled with information and something you can implement versus, you know,
blah.
Dana has a great question. She says, how much time do you spend on content creation versus content consumption each day? I am a content creator. I would much rather create than consume. I would much rather do something that's going to broadcast and reach a wide audience than sit around consuming. But we need both, right? We need creators and consumers. I mean, how many people actually make movies? Right? But tons of us go watch them. I think that Snapchat's going to go that same direction. We're going to find that people follow their friends and their family and people they know. And then there's going to be the big hitters that create a community around what they do because they're the creators.
I mean, I look at this kind of like, I mean, one of my biggest stress points right now is scale, right? And like, how do you scale engagement on Snapchat? Like, I'm really struggling with that, but I also struggle with the idea, and this is really all top of mind. This is part of my whole Snap story today is about the struggles of entrepreneurship. You know, is really not only prioritizing time, but when you set expectations that you'll engage with everybody, you know, holding up to those expectations is something that I like. There's not been one snap since I've been on Snapchat that someone snapped me with a question or snapped me directly with some kind of, you know, inquiry that I haven't replied back with, right? So not one, and since I've been on there. But I also know, like, Gary Vaynerchuk doesn't watch or read shit. Like, I sent him a Twitter video today and said, Gary, I've never asked you to watch any of my content. I would love for you to watch my Snapchat story today, because I know that he doesn't watch anybody's content because that's kind of his way of doing it. And Joel, your point on, like, you'd rather broadcast, like, for me, I don't watch my public Twitter feed anymore. I manage my Twitter lists.
I don't either.
I've cured my Twitter inbound. But for me, Snapchat, I watch so many freaking Snap stories. I probably spend, I don't even know if I want to admit it. I don't even know. I'm probably north of like an hour and a half a day right now.
Wow. That is a lot. So I follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got about 35 people that I have labeled as number ones that I try to get in. I don't get to all of them every day, but I do try to get to them. Then I've got my second strings, you know, my number twos. And I do, if somebody snaps me, you know, initially it used to be if they snapped me personally, I would reply. And then I started getting so many that it was like I would reply with a ghost or a fist bump or a heart or whatever. And now I don't reply to all of them too more because it's too demanding. I can't manage it. So I understand why Gary doesn't respond. He's just made a decision to say, I can't handle the private messages.
So I sent out a survey today. You guys would love this. So I sent out a survey on Twitter, which is pretty much pointless unless I put paid behind it. But I did it on Snapchat. And of the 280 people that saw the story so far, I simply asked the question, would you rather an influencer, a celebrity, or a politician engage themselves with 5% of the direct comments towards them, or have a community manager run their account and reply to 100% of the content. What do you guys think was the answer that I got? And the answer was over 90% of the people picked one versus the other.
5%.
Joel?
So restate the question.
So it's Gary Vee. Do you want Gary Vee to reply to only 5% of the engagement he gets, or would you like him to hire a community manager and reply to 100%, but they don't know if it's coming from Gary or from the... Well,
they want him. They would rather it be him.
I want the 5%.
What do you think, Vicky?
I'm going to go... Well, I don't know. I know what I would want, the 5%. I don't know what about your survey. I would want the 5%. I would want to know if what came to me was from you. If I was tweeting you, because you are, the little guru master, we're so hard to get a hold of. I get a reply back, I want to know it's from Fanzo.
Well, and that's what, so the audience, the 90% was the 5. They would rather have 5% of real engagement than 100% from a community manager.
But hold on, Brian. Hold on. Brian, your audience is different than the majority. Your audience is probably very niche on Twitter, and they will tend to think more like we do.
No, but my story was, but the survey was on Snapchat. I posted on Twitter too.
I think you said it was on Twitter.
No, I posted on Twitter, but I got like...
even on Twitter though, even on Snapchat.
Snapchat, over 90% of the people said that they would rather have 5% of the person engaged to 5% of the people that are inbound. Rather, but here, let me see what the poll is on.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm right there with you.
So here's the thing, that surprised me.
It's like winning the lottery. That's why people buy lottery tickets, for that chance. Mm-hmm. So they would much rather have the real thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember the day Gary Vee followed me. I remember the day Vala Asfar retweeted me. I remember the day Ray Wang said that he was referencing me in a boardroom, right? Like, I can remember those days to a T. But my thing is, I hold myself like I have 130,000 tweets. Not one reply ever from any of those tweets. Not one was done by any other person other than me. If it was a reply, not one reply. Some scheduled content has been by other people, but not one reply. But for me, I've been managing that expectation and trying to figure out, how do I move from an expectation where my audience expects, and they expect it because it's what I've built, that I will engage with everybody and reply to everybody, including Snapchat. When I got that response, I'm like, fuck me. Why am I, sorry, I'm fired up today. I have a little Tito's and lemonade. But I looked at that and said, because I don't really buy into the old adage that if you're less accessible, you're more valuable, because I think that's the old mindset. I don't think that's the traditional, I don't think that's the way we think of it today. But that survey actually kind of means that, like, if you're so busy that you could only reply to 5% of us, we're okay with that, rather than you flipping the script to 100%.
Well, so Rachel says scaling engagement is hard, but scaling your time is really hard. Time really doesn't scale. Time is time, right?
Well,
unless you
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Brian, when you were on my show, you were saying, Vicky, I'd love for you to Snapchat your day. Like, I came up with my course. It's called the Rockstar Guide to Getting It Done, because people don't know how to group task things. They don't know how to, combine things together in ways that give them more time, because, it's not multitasking in the way where you're trying to do two things and you're doing two things lame. Like, I use the example of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. If you're going to make 10, you don't have to pull out 2 pieces of bread, peanut butter, jelly, and then pull 2 more pieces of bread out. You put out 20 pieces of bread, 10 peanut butter, 10 jelly. So it's combining, group tasking things together that can give people more time, in essence, and they don't realize it. That's why I created the course. But so when you're looking at things like that, I think it's people want, like I said, people want a piece of your intelligence. They want Joel, they want Vincenzo, wanting that small piece of what you have to offer is different than a community manager, but it doesn't mean you can't scale your time by delivering some and I'm not saying this is what you want to do on a regular basis, but for the masses who aren't asking you a real question about you, they're asking some general question about, hey, Brian, where's your website? Or, hey, to have some general content that a VA or somebody could, transfer basic answers to. But when people, you can also encourage your audience to give you some true engagement. Like that's how Anthony got the, thing with Tony Robbins is he's, sent him a Twitter video saying, hey, would you do this? And hey, before you say no, I really want you to consider it. And Tony sent him a message back and said, yeah, baby, you got it. So why? So that was priceless to him, not a VA. And because there's no way you're going to connect with that kind of passion. A VA is not going to go, hey, Tony, by the way, this guy, he left a message and it's just not the same. The fact that Tony saw it, Tony reacted, that is the gold. So the general messages, the ones that don't intrigue you or inspire you, can have some general things, but I don't know if that helped you at all. But again, people want you. They want to know what's going on in that brain of yours and what creativity Joel and Vincenzo have. It is about connection.
I'd also say something I learned a ton from hanging with Gary for, 30 plus minutes.
That was rocky.
Last week was that as much as Gary doesn't engage, because like we said, it's probably less than 5% of the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't even imagine how inundated he is with people reaching out to him, because I know how it is for me, and I'm not even a speck on the grand scheme of things. And it's like
you are so much more than a speck.
Okay,
you're a plank. You're a plank, Vincenzo. You're a plank.
You're a Vinny Blabberino.
So my point is that after spending some time with him, and I think somebody said this in the comments, I'm not sure, but he may not respond to every single thing, but he sure as hell knows what's going on.
Well, he has a team that tells him what's going on.
I would not be so sure that it's just about his team.
Yeah, Vicky, you're frozen.
Because it goes a little beyond that. There's things that Gary knows and has commented on. Gary was without his team, caught him by surprise in San Diego. His car almost hit me in front of the hotel because I ran out to grab I ran out to grab a cab and his car was pulling in. He was by himself.
Let's clarify.
He had no team around him. He had nobody. He was on a conference call. I turned and looked at him, and I didn't even call his name. He was listening to a conference call. I said, GV, I said. And he turned and looked at me, and he was like, hey, what's up, buddy? Now, mind you, I'd never met Gary up to that point. And he was like, how are things going? He knew. He remembered me. He remembered when we had our conversation on the live video. He remembered that we had the podcast the following week. He said, I'm going to see you next week for the podcast, right? That, to me, changed my perception of how – I'm not saying him. I'm saying how others, Brian Finizzo, right? Joel Kahn. Mm-hmm. It's not like, okay, well, maybe he doesn't. And then he even made a comment about something I had tweeted him that he never responded to.
Well, I think the concept of strategic listening is underestimated, right? Like, I can tell you right now in Canada, the people that are going to the social media camp event that I'm going to tomorrow, where I haven't packed and I fly out tomorrow at 6 a.m. I could probably tell you 40 things about 40 different people that are attending that event that I never consumed their content up until a week ago, knowing that I was going to be in their presence and I wanted to be refreshed up to date what they're doing. But I think that's a skill that is so farly underestimated. Because I agree with you, and so the fact that he's not engaging or watching, and he firmly believes he doesn't ever read anybody else's books. He writes books and he writes hooks with books, but he doesn't read other people's books. I don't believe that means he isn't listening, but no. I also believe what Marcus Sheridan said at Social Media Marketing World is essential. He trades time, and he's a studier of the human condition, right? So like his element is understanding who, what, and when it actually freaking matters to him. We all don't have that luxury. So the reason I'm watching a crap load of snaps right now is because I don't understand Snapchat still. Like I'm trying my best to understand scaling of Snapchat, viewer growth, what drives engagement, where's not engagement, the idea of big bold text versus not bold text, 30 snaps in a day versus. And so for me, studying all of that is what I hope to allow me to create better content to scale engagement later on. But it is for me, the expectation with a community to me is really hard to manage. And I don't even know how we got down this road, but I mean, this is something that I strategically worry about, because I don't want to be at Gary V's level and feel that I'm too busy or I don't have time to give people the access that they might want. And that's something, I mean, I think that's.
But each person needs to decide for them what that means. I value my freedom and my free time. And I like to put content out there. I like to engage when I want to engage. The moment I start feeling like, oh no, I have to respond to this person, I'm entering a dangerous territory that I do not want to be in, because now I'm becoming the servant to social media. And now
that was me, and that's why I got off Anchor.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a need and I had to force myself. And as soon as that happened, I did an Anchor that said, hey, I want to take a break from here. I'm focusing too much on Snapchat right now. Yeah,
I get it. Well, listen, this has been a great conversation. I know we're into after show period, so I'm going to officially do this.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, it's playing in this one.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. BlabTalk Live, BlabTalk Live, BlabTalk Live, BlabTalk Live, blam, 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 BlabTalk Live.
Joel Comm here, BlabTalk Live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 o'clock on the Westish Coast. Vinny Blaverino right there, the good-looking guy. Next week, who knows what it's going to be? I just know we'll be here. And so will you.